pa pa ella, ella, pa 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 ella, pa 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 ella, ella.
Everybody, welcome back to the Your View studio in this brand new edition of Locally Louisiana. I'm Kaniqua, and I've got a lot to tell you about today, so let's get into it. Coming up, we're discussing our diet and how we can live right in 2025. We'll discover an opera that went unpublished for over 130 years and is just now set to make its world premiere right here in New Orleans. We'll wrap it all up in a walk with the Women of Wakanda, who are getting ready to party with Chewbacca's. So much to discuss, so let's get going. All right, y'all. What if I told you that a 137-year-old opera was set to make its world debut right here in New Orleans? I'm not joking. It's a musical manuscript that was recently discovered. And I've got a very important historical backstory here to tell us all about it. Amanda McFillin from the Historic New Orleans Collection is here to let us know. Amanda, thank you so much for joining us here on Locally Louisiana.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Of course,
Yes.
of course. Now, okay, who is Edmond Dede, and how did one of his operas go hidden for over 130 years? I gotta know.
Yes. So Edmond Dede was born in New Orleans in 1827. He was born into a free person of color family. He was a free man of color. He was baptized in St. Louis Cathedral, which I'm going to come back to that in a second.
Okay.
Yes. Grew up in the Treme. He was a very talented musician and composer. Of course, living here in New Orleans as a black man in the 19th century, he faced a lot of obstacles. So as a young man, he decided to move to France, where he could have better professional opportunities. He lived there for most of his adult life, had a family there, lived in Bordeaux, worked as a musician and a composer at a theater in Bordeaux, and at some point along the way wrote this opera called Morjan. Now, what is significant about this opera is, as far as we know, it is the earliest full-length opera written by a Black American composer that we know of. Yes, and like you said, it's gone hidden for over 130 years. We don't know exactly why it was hidden. It was never performed, but over 10 years ago, Giovanna Joseph and her daughter Aria, who are the founders of Opera Creole, discovered this manuscript at Harvard and have been working since then to bring this story, this opera, to life, to have it finally performed, and we're doing it here in New Orleans, in St. Louis Cathedral, where he was baptized.
Oh my God!
Yes, so it is coming full circle, and it's really, truly, I'm so excited. History is being made by performing this opera here in New Orleans after all of this time.
Oh my God, I got goosebumps.
It's an incredible story.
That's wild.
Yes.
So Dede is an important historical figure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just for the city of New Orleans.
Yes. We should absolutely be celebrating him.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's what I'm saying.
Yes,
Like, it's so intriguing to find not only a New Orleans native, but a Creole freeborn American that moved to Europe before the Civil War.
Yes.
Like, how well known was he worldwide? Was he known at all, or?
I think he would have been known. He was celebrated later in life here in New Orleans, and obviously he was known in France. I mean, he did work in Bordeaux, I believe in Paris as well. But I think he's been kind of lost to time since then for lots of different reasons. But recently, through a lot of Opera Creole's work, which their mission is to highlight composers of color who have not received their due. So they've been really championing him. They've been spreading the word. And there is now a biography about him by Sally McKee, who is going to be part of our program in January. She's going to be talking about him and his life. And we're getting a lot of news attention about the story because it is so extraordinary. So he's having his moment, finally.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. I love that. So tell us a little bit about the upcoming performance at the Morjan. The Morjan.
Yes, the opera's called Morjan.
You have to say it fancy. See, I was trying to pronounce it the American. So tell us more about this performance coming up at the Morjan.
Yes.
I have to say it like that.
Yes. So it is going to be, so the opera is Morjan. It's going to be performed at St. Louis Cathedral on January 23rd.
Okay.
So we have kind of a full slate of activities that day. So Sally McKee, who I just mentioned is his biographer, is going to be doing a book signing at the Historic New Orleans Collections bookshop that day from 2 to 4. Then from 5 to 6, we're going to have a panel discussion at our research center because there are people, obviously, it's such an interesting story.
Yes.
People are going to want to know all of the background. They want to know more about Edmond Day, who he was, his life. They're going to want to know about the opera because for people like me who are not big opera, we don't know much about opera, this is going to give you a lot of background about the story and what you're about to see and kind of what he was trying to do with it. It's going to give you all of that kind of like inside information before you go. So that's from 5 to 6, and then of course the main event is 7:30 at St. Louis Cathedral. It is free to the public, no registration, but it is first come, first serve.
Okay, okay.
So you gotta get there. If you wanna come, I suggest lining up early so you can get a good seat. It's going to be incredible.
Free 99, everybody. Everybody loves a good free ski. Yes, so full on opera, so we're talking all, you know,
Yes.
clearly the orchestra, but singing and different stuff like that as well?
Yes, so this is part of our Musical Louisiana series, and so this is a long-time partnership with the Historic New Orleans Collection and the LPO, the
Yes.
Louisiana Philharmonic, to highlight classical music history here in Louisiana. And of course, this year we're also bringing on Giovanna Joseph and her daughter Aria from Opera Creole and Opera Lafayette. So we're going to have guest conductor Patrick Quigley from Opera Lafayette, who is from New Orleans. So another New Orleans native coming home to work on this with us. So we're bringing all of these groups together to produce this opera. It will be excerpts from the opera from 3 of the 4 acts because the original piece is 4 hours long. Yes, so we are going to do we are going to give you the best of, and truly it is going to be an extraordinary performance. So the full orchestra is going to be there. There will be soloists, some of whom we're bringing in from around the country, some of them who are from New Orleans and incredibly talented. We're so excited to feature them, and a chorus as well. So it's going to be a really, really extraordinary event.
Oh, I love this. I love this. It's 4 hours. Do they have plans of actually putting on the entire?
I think they hope to eventually. Now, this will go to, after we have the premiere here in New Orleans, it will be traveling up to D.C. for Opera Lafayette. And I think eventually we will see a full mounted production with the costumes and the whole pageantry. I mean, it is a very ambitious project, but I hope we can see that at some point. Yes.
So we're getting the ultimate sneak peek of greatness, you guys. That is super exciting. So tell everybody at home how they can learn more about the Historic New Orleans Collection.
Absolutely. So the best way to learn more about us and about this event is to visit our website. It is hnoc.org. You'll find all the information about this program. If you can't make it down to the cathedral, we are also live streaming it on the LPO's website and also WLAE. So you can find information about how you can watch it from your living room, wherever you want to be, you know. But we hope lots of people will come out and join us live at the cathedral.
Hey, I hope you're doing well with those New Year's resolutions, guys. But maybe you've decided to wait just a little bit longer before starting some of those life changes, and that's okay. It's never too late to start. And with that in mind, I'd like to welcome Oxford dietitian Kelly Migliori to the show. Let's talk about eating right in the new year. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
So excited to be here.
Oh, well, thank you so much. That's awesome. Now, it's important to start with changing what we eat, right? Or is it important to change more so the way we're eating?
Great question. It's actually a little bit of both. So yes, we want to focus on choosing nutrient-dense foods, foods rich in vitamins and minerals, maybe low in saturated fat, high in protein, low in added sugar, but we do also want to focus on the way we eat those foods, whether that be the timing of our meals and snacks, the sizes of our meals and snacks, so portion control, eating mindfully, so maybe how quickly we're eating, how in tune we are with those biological cues we have for hunger and fullness. So a little bit of both. You got to put the two together, get the little perfect formula.
Yeah, I didn't think about like the times that you're eating or how fast you're eating. I didn't even think about that as playing a factor. Wow, okay. Something new. Now, what's the line that we should draw between a simple dietary change that maybe we can handle versus like a big change that might require like a professional like yourself?
Yeah, so another great question. So, a lot of things we can handle on our own. Maybe you simply are switching, sugary beverages with water, or you're just trying to eat more fruits and vegetables, right? Mm-hmm. Easy, we can do that on our own. But let's say we are diagnosed with a medical condition, high blood pressure, diabetes, or let's say we want to try a completely different diet. We want to go vegan, vegetarian, we want to try intermittent fasting or keto. It's better to have a dietitian really guide you through that to make sure you're doing it carefully and the correct way, not putting ourselves at risk for underfueling or nutrient deficiencies. So a lot can kind of play into seeing a dietitian. It's always really great too to have that accountability factor, right? So someone who's kind of guiding you, checking in with you, giving you that motivation that you may not be able to find yourself.
Yeah, and I think that's really important just because it's hard, right? Like you were saying, it's very hard for someone regular like me. We tend to go to Google, but Google doesn't necessarily give you the exact components that you need for that. So I think that's really good. Now, what is the Ochsner Fit program?
Yeah, so Ochsner Eat Fit is a free initiative through Ochsner. We partner with restaurants locally, so in the greater New Orleans area, and we highlight menu items that are better for you. So we make the healthy choice the easy choice. So if you're out to eat, you see that Ochsner Eat Fit seal by something on a menu, you know that that's going to be one of the more nutrient-dense, healthier options for you. So it meets our specific nutrition criteria. Yeah. We won't go into the specifics, but generally speaking, that means it'll be low in added sugar, low in refined carbohydrates, low in saturated fat, and high in nutrients.
So it's kind of like the Weight Watchers logo you used to see on menus?
A little bit, yeah. And we talked about, low salt before we started the interview, right? And so all of our Eat Fit dishes are also lower in sodium. So if someone were struggling with high blood pressure, but they were still trying to go out to eat, enjoy good New Orleans food, they could look for that Eat Fit seal and know that this dish is not going to be giving them too much sodium.
That is awesome.
Very helpful.
That is a really big issue, especially going out to eat. You never know what you can and can't eat.
Exactly.
What is your recommendation, like if you're on the road too? Because when you're traveling, especially in a car, all you have are fast food items. Do you have any tips for when you're going to maybe like a fast food restaurant? Something that you could kind of look out for? Yeah, so quick kind of something to look out for with fast food would definitely be trying to avoid anything fried, so going for any of the grilled options definitely would be a great way to go. That being said, salads aren't always the lowest in calories, so we don't always want to think salad. Really? Paying attention to how many toppings we're putting on the salad can be, something of importance. I will say too, a lot of fast food restaurants all have their nutrition facts online available to you. So I know it does take a little bit more time, but if you're looking to get more into the nitty-gritty of it, doing a quick Google search of those nutrition facts on the menu for that fast food restaurant as well. Awesome. Okay. Now, how can our viewers learn a little bit more about the Eat Fit program, and where could they find you guys if they needed y'all? Yeah. So OchsnerEatFit.com is going to be the best place to find anything about the Eat Fit program currently. In the new year, we are actually launching a brand new cell phone app that you will be able to download the App Store. It's Ochsner Eat Fit. You should be able to search it and find the app. On that app, it's going to geolocate restaurants in your area that are Eat Fit partners. It will pull up each dish that is Eat Fit approved, and it will have the nutrition facts for those dishes, as well as pictures. We'll have some grocery guides and some community wellness guides on that app as well. I love that. I absolutely love that. Well, Kelly, Thank you so much for joining us today and giving us all of the really important information that we need on diets, because I'm going to try to follow that myself. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
The countdown is on. The intergalactic crew of Chewbacca's is ready to roll, and that means one of my favorite sub-crews is ready to show off on the streets of the Crescent City. Please welcome to the show, the Women of Wakanda. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you for having us here.
Yes, of course. I remember walking with them my first year with Wakanda Moon, and it was probably one of the best experiences of my life walking with y'all. But tell us a little bit about the crew of Women of Wakanda, and how did that concept come to be?
Yes, so obviously when the movie Black Panther came out, we were very excited, very inspired to see the role that women played, as warriors, but also as, feminine as well. And so, we decided, let's put it all together and, let's create something that we can also enjoy in Mardi Gras time, something different than what we've, experienced, and be a part of the Mardi Gras in a different way. So we created the group, Women of Wakanda. We created a Facebook group, and then just, folks just started flocking along.
Yeah.
Yes, so, we envision, the Women of Wakanda vision is for Black women to have a space to celebrate our joy, celebrate our power, and just celebrate, our own mechanisms of healing, which is also the joy in it.
Now, as far as your costumes and your concepts, how do you come up with your themes for the years? And do you all make your own costumes? Because they have been some have been like super crazy, some have been super like movie representative, and then some of them are like super creative lanes. How are you all coming up with those things?
Well, to start, one aspect of the crew was that we wanted to welcome Black women nerds, and so we have a lot of people that were already into cosplay, anime, comics, and things of that nature. So they come in with a very wide level of varying degrees of expertise in costuming. So some people, purchase some items of their costume, while others may make their costume completely from scratch and sew it. And sometimes we just hodgepodge things together.
Listen, hodgepodge is everything.
So we always want to let everybody know that it doesn't matter what your skill level is on costuming or crafting. You could come in and we could create something cool.
I also love the fact that you all have set like days where you get together as like a full group and create everything, whether it be a costume that you need to finish or you ain't started, or your trinkets. How do you come up with your throws, the ideas for your throws? Because they've been pretty cool.
Well, the ideas for the throws are kind of based off of the things that we enjoy in real life. So that was how we came up with the earrings the first year. Of course, we like magnets. Of course, we like things that that you could keep as a figurine in your house, that you could keep it for years to come, a souvenir. So yeah, we've used one of the things in Chewbacca's is what are the bando blocks?
Bandoliers.
And we use Jenga blocks for that and put magnets on them. So it's really like hundreds of different types of throws that you can come up with. It could be patches for your clothes.
I love the fact that it could be anything. Like
it could literally be anything. We have stickers.
Anything.
I love that.
Based on the themes too. And so prior themes we've had I Am, which is where our mascot was born, how our mascot Beyond
Tell me a little bit about
was
that.
born.
Oh, that's her.
This is Beyond
Say.
I love that.
that is, yes.
She looks like a Beyonce that I know.
So we were able to partner with a really, really great creative. His name is True, who actually built,
awesome.
the actual statue from scratch. And that's what you see parading down the streets in her
It's huge,
purple,
y'all.
fro, glorious manner. And so, that was one of the main themes of that, that was, one of the main themes that we saw that really got people excited. So we kept the statue, and this is now our mascot. And so this year's theme.
I was just gonna ask you, yes. Uh-oh, drum roll, I think we're getting a little exclusive. What's the
This
theme?
year's theme is a return to the mothership.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Celestial and extraterrestrial.
Oh my goodness. We're gonna be aliens out there this year, y'all. Oh, that's super exciting. Now, one last thing before y'all go, because I want people to be able to know where to find you. Are you looking for more people to walk with you?
Yes. We're always looking for new members. The membership is all year long. You can become a member.
And how can they find you and get in contact with you?
Okay, so there are a couple of ways to get in contact with us. If you want to sign up for the membership, you could go to womenofwakanda.wildapricot.org.
Okay.
You can always look us up on Instagram, wild_Wakanda, or you can just email us at womenofwakanda19@gmail.com, and then we can direct you to anything you need.
Oh my goodness. Well, I am super excited to see y'all this year. I know you're going to kill it because you kill it every year. I'm just going to put it out there. Sorry. But, thank y'all so much for joining us. And
Yes, thank you for having us.
Yes, of course. What else you got
This
for
is
us?
actually a surprise.
Yes.
So that this year, along with the march, we are going to release a short digital comic that goes along with
This year's theme.
this year's theme. So you'll be able to scan a QR code, see part of the story before the parade, and then during the parade, the rest of the story will be released.
Oh, let me know.
And hopefully this is just the beginning of the journey.
Yeah.
Oh my God, y'all. I don't want to scream, but I am so excited. I need to know where I can get my copy. So please let me know. That is super exciting. Oh my gosh, mind just blown. Thank y'all so much for coming and letting us know.
Thank you for having
so much
us.
for having
And
us.
join the crew. They are amazing.
Yes, join us. Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever. Thanks so much for joining us today. We've got to sign off for now, but as always, if you need to catch up on any of our YourView shows, it's easy peasy. Just log into watch.yourview.com, and I'll see you next time here on Locally Louisiana. Bye, guys.